G'day folks, welcome to Billy Metals channel. I'm Toby. Today I'm out in the bush, out in the Enfield State Forest, State Park, and we're exploring a bit of a site. So not actually prospecting at the moment, but I'm going to give you a bit of a look through an old mine site, a really cool and very well preserved battery site, so quartz crushing battery. So behind me here, there's a whole stack of fingers of mullock. They've come out of quite a deep shaft, which is just behind you over there. I'll swing you around to have a bit of a look at that. There's a huge amount of mullocks come out of this hole. So if I drop my phone here, I'm going to be in trouble. This is not a good shaft to be mucking around there. It's been bulldozed in the 1950s. They bulldozed a stack of diggings right through the goldfields, destroyed a lot of history. Not that they cared so much back then. You can see where they've bulldozed through some of the mullock there, and they've pushed it up here and sealed that shaft up. The issue is 60, 70 years later, a lot of them are collapsing and opening up. So they destroyed a lot of history, but it's not made it any safer. Part of the reason I'm strongly opposed to bulldozing and destroying mine sites now in the interest of public safety. So I'll go for a little bit of a stroll through here. So I know a fair bit about this site, but I'm not going to give anyone the location because it's really well preserved, and we'd like it to stay that way. It hasn't been messed up by people digging and scratching around on it so much. So heaps and heaps of mullock there. I reckon they've run the stone, quartz, out along the top of this little structure they've built here. Has a stonework in it. Just to the right here, you can see there's foundations of some sort there. Threaded steel sticking out. I imagine that was for winding gear of some sort. So this continues on down through here. You can see up there, there's some more mullock heaps. There's an adit running in there, which has been bulldozed and collapsed. May try to open that up at some point. So this little finger of mullock runs out here, and down there you can see really well preserved battery site. So we'll go down and have a look at that very shortly. So I don't know if they've run the stone out here and then down to that track and down to the battery, or whether they've had a chute system or what they've had. But we'll wander down to that little track. You can see there's actually a road runs along the base of the mullock heap there. We'll go down there and then I'll show you through the battery site. Okay, so the stone would have been carted along this track here and or dumped from off the top of that finger of mullock. So there's probably a bit of wind noise currently on this video. The wind's picking up a little bit here. This is a battery site here, so they've tipped it down into there. The actual stamper would have been along directly in front of me there, and then they would have had their shaker tables and mercury all set up down there. So I'll bring you down there to have a closer look at that. We'll switch around here. So this is heading down into the battery site. So just up there is where I was standing a second ago. There's old biscuit bricks, the handmade bricks here and there and everywhere. So you can see brick foundations through here. They've actually used cement. So I'll zip down to here. They've used cement with broken up quartz, and yeah, it's actually concrete, no, rather than cement. Sorry, 120-year-old concrete in there. This site dates to the early 1900s. A little bit of a later mine site. So there's foundations here. There would have been timber set in there, I would imagine, and they've had the stampers on that. There was a 10-head stamper set up in this. See the sandstone they've cut it into here. That would have been a chimney. There was a boiler in here as well. That would have been part of the flue for the boiler, I would imagine. So the crushing has occurred here. They've would have had the shaker table set up on this ground here, and then mercury tables and so on and so forth. Zip over here. It's quite a substantial building. It's a significant mine site. And you can see, I imagine we would have been in a building here. You can see the edge just in there. And then they've dumped the tailings down into that dam. So I'll wander down there very shortly. So I'll bring you a bit more of a look around here. There was quite a significant amount of gold came out through this area. Look at the wall there. 120, 130 years old, and well, I wouldn't say it's in mint condition, but it's certainly still standing. And there's a bit of more of the metal there. There's a bit of a drum just here. Could have been for anything. So yes, very, very interesting site. So I'll bring you down for a bit of a walk here. There's something metal there. They're mine buckets, I would say. Not sure, it's riveted buckets anyhow, quite a solidly constructed bucket. So you can see there's been a bit of glass there. I'll pick that up. Yeah, it's quite opalised. They used a lot of lime to control the pH, because you don't want your solution to become acidic if you're using cyanide. They would have been using cyanide here too. Imagine there were cyanide vats down below us somewhere. So glass in a fairly basic or an alkaline solution, alkaline ground, will devitrify, which is why you get that opalescence on it. Yeah, this is leaning out a little bit here. Got quite a distinct lean to it, unfortunately, but it's still holding. I think those trees are helping the lean. Love to have seen what this was like back in the day. So from there, they've gone down here. I'm going to try to do this in a dignified fashion without ending up sliding on my bum. There's a whole lot of retaining stone there. They might have dropped it out of the their Wolfrey tables, or whatever sort of tables they were using, and then into a cyanide vat, which would have been down there, I would say. Possibly. A little bit of a dam here. I imagine they were using mine water. There's more, nearly broke my neck. More relics here. Oh, it's heavy duty steel. Yeah, so this is set up for something. And there's a little drain. Yeah, I'd say this is cyanide. There would have been a cyanide vat. Little drain there running into another one. And down here there's a little settling dam. But then this has just been dug out. Looks like they've dug most of the sand out of it. It's a breached dam there. I'll swing around this way a bit. Building sites everywhere here. Not somewhere you're going to find a lot of relics, because one, it's been reasonably detected, and two, it was not household stuff here, or workers. So I imagine this possibly cyanide. Who knows? There's a building over there. Was a building over there. And then when you look down there, you can see in the middle of the screen now, there's piles of sand there. It's been another settling dam. So I don't know if it's been re-cyanided or reworked, or how they've set it up. Who would know? But yeah, pretty cool site. So this is all set up here to drain. I imagine the mine waters were being pumped out and into this system, because there's no way of getting water even by race up here. It's too far up the hill in this location. Just over there is possibly the powder magazine. There's a flat spot with a heap of earthen banks piled up around it. Look up the hill, you can see a whole stack of mullock. So those bits of metal there, just noticed this looks a little bit out of sequence to the rest of the bit of videos, because I noticed this on the way back out, and I'm going to add it in here. That's a brick arch. So this is the battery site there. This wall that I was admiring, that's there to protect the workers on the battery, or in the battery, from the boiler in case it exploded, which happened a bit. So that would have been to get draft. You can see this concrete. This concrete's fallen down a little bit from up further. And if you get up there, there's a few blocks of concrete here actually. The boiler would have been down there. They've had this concrete through there. They've had, see the bricks? A flue up to here, and then there would have been yeah, the metal chimney, metal flue up above that, so it's got some draft. And then the road, the track there is just there. So that's why there's bits of it here. It would have collapsed years ago. How amazing is that? So that really tells you how the site was laid out. Boiler on the right there, battery on the left. Absolutely amazing. So we'll continue on with the rest of that bit of explore of the battery there. There's some more lovely stonework there, a little bit of a corner in this bit. Just picked up some more broken beer bottle from the, I don't know, 1910s maybe, 1900s. Quite a few broken bits scattered through here. I've had a drink or two either whilst they were working, which is always good when you're working with cyanide and mercury. And yeah, probably had a drink after work, I imagine. So I'll head back up there and yeah, give you a bit of an overview and finish off the video. Okay, so yeah, a bit different to the normal videos that I do, but it's a fantastic site and in really good nick, so I thought I'd share it with everyone and give you a bit of a look at yeah, a bit of our local history. So as far as I know, the mine operated till around about World War I, and like so many other mines that shut it down through lack of both resources and labour force. So yeah, pretty cool site. That wall there is really, really impressive. Love the way that's built. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll be back very soon with lots more prospecting, a few mine explores and a whole lot of other fun things. I'm going to do quite a few gem and gold hunting videos in creeks very shortly now the creeks are almost warm enough to get into. So yeah, till next time, find lots of gold. We'll be back very, very soon.